Hey there, welcome to Church at Home. I'm Nathan, and I'm so excited you're watching today as we learn all about another one of God's promises together. God makes so many promises in the Bible, and the coolest part, those promises aren't just for the people in the Bible. Those promises are for us still today. Our one thing today tells us one of those promises. Jesus promises that you have a purpose. Your purpose is the job God made you to do. God will be by our side, showing us more about the amazing things that He has planned for us. So let's sing a song called Side by Side to praise God that no matter where we go or whatever we do, we can still do great things with God. Sing this out.
We're going to sing a song about how God is always by our side. Let's sing this out together.
Step by step, day by day, you will lead me all the way. Every time I call your name, Jesus, Jesus, you're right there, we're hand in hand. Never lost, you got a plan. I know you will keep me safe, Jesus. I follow you all of the way. So if you go left, we go left. If you go right, we go right. I'll follow you anywhere, everywhere that you go, 'cause I know we're side by side. If you go low, we go low. If you go high, we go high. I'll follow you anywhere, everywhere that you go, 'cause I know we're side by side, side by side.
Sing it out.
Every day I have a friend, so the journey never ends. On your name I can depend, Jesus. I'll follow you all of the way.
Come on.
So if you go left, we go left. If you go right, we go right.
That's right.
I'll follow you anywhere, everywhere that you go, 'cause I know we're side by side. If you go low, we go low. If you go high, we go high. I'll follow you anywhere, everywhere that you go, 'cause I know we're side by side. And we will follow wherever you go. Yes, we will follow wherever you go. So if you go left, we go left. If you go right, we go right. I follow you anywhere, everywhere that you go, 'cause I know we're side by side. If you go low, we go low. If you go high, we go high. I follow you anywhere, everywhere that you go, 'cause I know we're side by side, side by side, side by side. I follow you anywhere, everywhere that you go, 'cause I know we're side by side, side by side.
Great job, everyone. Woo!
Did you hear that? No matter if we go left or if we go right, we are still side by side with God. That means that no matter what choices we make, God is still right there with us. In our Bible story today, we will see a story of someone who made some wrong choices, but no matter what, Jesus still loved him and had a purpose for him. Jesus was right by his side. Check this out.
Stories of the Bible. Jesus forgives Peter. This is Peter.
Hey-oh! Whoop!
Peter was a fisherman and a disciple of Jesus.
Hey-oh!
Before Jesus was taken to die on the cross, Jesus told his disciples it was time for him to leave them.
Huh?
Peter said that he would follow Jesus even to his death. But Jesus said, before the rooster crows, you will say 3 times that you don't know me.
What?
But Peter promised he would never say he didn't know Jesus, as did the other disciples.
Yeah!
Later that night, after Jesus was arrested, Peter and another disciple followed Jesus and his captors to the house of the high priest. 2 servant girls noticed Peter and both said that he was with Jesus.
Oh, ma?
Both times Peter said he was not, and even said, I don't know the man. Then a man said, You must have been with Jesus because you're from Galilee."
No, no, no.
But Peter said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And at that very moment, Peter heard the rooster crow. Jesus turned and looked at Peter. Peter remembered that Jesus had known this would happen, and Peter left that place crying. Sometime later, after Jesus had died and risen again, Peter and some of the disciples were out fishing. They didn't catch a single fish all night. Early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore,
Oh, hey, over here.
but the disciples did not realize that it was Jesus. He called out to them, "Friends, don't you have any fish?"
Nope.
Jesus told them to throw their nets to the right of the boat.
Okay.
So they did, and they couldn't bring in the net because there were too many fish in it. Then one of the disciples said, "It's the Lord." So Peter jumped in the water and swam to Jesus. When the disciples got to the shore, Jesus said, "Come and have breakfast."
Maybe some fish. Got it.
When they were done eating, Jesus asked Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" Each time Peter said, "Yes, you know I love you." And each time Jesus told Peter to feed his lambs and take care of his sheep. So Peter went on to feed Jesus' sheep by helping to start the church and by writing letters that would become books of the Bible. And even though he had denied knowing Jesus, he was forgiven, and many came to know the love and forgiveness of Jesus through Peter.
Wow, even though Peter lied and said he didn't know Jesus, Jesus still loved him and had a purpose for him. Jesus told Peter to feed my sheep. That means Jesus wanted to use Peter to build the church and invite more people into God's family. That was Peter's purpose. And nothing that Peter did could change his purpose, because our purpose is a promise from God, and nothing changes God's promise. In fact, the Bible is full of amazing promises like this, promises that are good, and promises that will never change. Let's read our Bible verse to learn more about that. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. This Bible verse is an example of a promise from God. We are called according to God's purpose, and his purpose for us is to love him and love others. So let's sing that out in a verse right now.
And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God, and are called according to his purpose for them. Romans 8:28. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God, and are called according to his purpose for them. Romans 8:28. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God, and are called according to his purpose for them. Romans 8:28.
awesome job. This series is all about amazing promises like the one that we just sang. And we can believe these promises are true because everything that God says is true and it really happens. We are going to learn more about the good, true promises of God with another episode of Fear It or Face It, where Eddie and Carolyn are facing their fears with some awesome challenges, all while remembering the promises of God. I can't wait to see what the wheel lands on today. Watch this.
What's up, friends?
You are watching Fear It or Face It.
Where we are going to spin to win. Okay, more like spin to lose. And we're gonna challenge each other to face our fears. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Caroline, and this is the Wheel of Fear. We've got all your basic fears covered. Fear of spiders, fear of the dark. Wait, pepperoni. Wait, what?
Hey, it's a real thing.
Okay. We also got fear of snakes, fear of heights. I'm already feeling sweaty.
There's only one question to ask. Are you gonna fear it or face it? Well, it's another great week here on Fear It or Face It. And I've gotta ask, Caroline, are you ready to face your fears today?
Well, it depends on what fear we're talking about. Fear of the dark? I can handle that, but fear of clowns? Absolutely not.
There's only one way to find out. Let's spin.
Okay. Just
It's gonna be
not needles, baby. Oh no! Okay, fish have always freaked me out. And sharks and stingrays and whales? Come on! But I think the deeper fear with this one is the fear of dark water and just not knowing what's underneath me. I mean, look, I instantly have goosebumps.
Well, it does sound a little too dangerous to send you out into the middle of the ocean, so I have a better idea. But you're gonna have to trust me. And not only me, you're gonna have to trust a very important promise from God.
Okay, let's hear it.
Our one thing today says, God promises that you have a purpose. A purpose is what something was made to do. And this game has a purpose, right? We are trying to face our biggest fears and remember God's promises. So are you gonna keep fearing of the ocean? Or are you ready to face it?
Okay, let's face it.
Let's go! So Caroline, we couldn't bring out the whole ocean to you, but we brought a piece of it. You will face your fear today by crossing the ocean. Just be careful not to squish any fish.
What? Fish?
You'll be fine, trust me. This all serves a purpose. This game was made to help you face your fears. You've got this.
Okay, I can do this. So what do I do? Do I just start walking?
Oh, wait, let me count down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. What
gross.
is that?
It's disgusting, you gotta keep going.
Eddie, was that a real fish?
Okay, just trust me. There's a plan here.
Okay.
All you gotta do is make it to the other side and it'll all make sense.
Okay. Okay. Ew, it's so gross.
Oh, is that one moving?
Stop. Oh, okay. Oh, is this real?
Just keep going.
It's
You can
real.
make it. You can make it. I believe in you. And you're done. Okay, you can take off your blindfold. Take a look.
Okay. Wait. Wait a second. What in the world? Are these oranges?
Yeah, see, you stepped out in faith, and even though you weren't sure what was underneath your feet, you trusted the plan.
Yeah, it felt a lot worse in my mind, but that wasn't so bad. And I think maybe I'm building up this ocean thing. It sounds really scary in my head, but thousands and thousands of people swim in the ocean every day. I could do it too.
Yeah, you totally can. Now, let's get this cleaned up. So I don't know if you noticed, but our Bible story today is all about Peter, who was a fisherman. So I really tried to work in...
The fish! Oh, it's all coming together now.
Exactly. Peter stepped out in faith and left his job as a fisherman when Jesus called him to be a disciple. He didn't know what Jesus had planned, but he believed that whatever job Jesus had for him, it was even greater than the job he had planned for himself.
That is such a great reminder. And I love how that Bible story shows us Peter wasn't perfect. We saw that he even told some lies and denied knowing Jesus, but Jesus still had a purpose for him. And he has a purpose for each and every one of us.
We were all made to do 5 very important things: to worship Jesus, belong to his family, grow closer to Jesus, serve Jesus by serving others, and share about Jesus with others.
And when we choose to step out in faith and follow Jesus, even if we don't know what we're stepping into or stepping on, we can trust that God promises we have a purpose, a very important job that he made us to do.
I love how even though everyone has the same purpose, we all live it out a little differently. Some of us share Jesus with the people on our sports team, or serve with the kids ministry at church, and some of us might even love to travel and choose to go somewhere to share about Jesus.
Yep, we all have a purpose, and nothing we ever do will disqualify us from that purpose. Even Peter's lies couldn't stop him from living out his purpose to start the church and share about Jesus with so many people. God is just that big. He can work everything out for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose.
So remember, Jesus promises that you have a purpose. Join us next time for another Fear It or Face It. It's gonna be epic.
See you then.
Laters.
I'm not even afraid of the ocean, but I definitely wouldn't want to walk over a trail of mandarin oranges thinking they were fish. That must have felt so gross. But the game had a purpose, right? To help Carolyn conquer her fear of the ocean. That is what that game was made to do. And we all have 5 things we were made to do too. Worship God, belong in his family, grow closer to Jesus, serve Jesus by serving others, and share about Jesus with others. Nothing we do will ever change that purpose. So let's spend some time right now talking to God and thanking him for his amazing promise that each and every one of us was made with a purpose. Lord, thank you for your love. Thank you for creating us with an important job to do. Help us live out our purpose by loving you and loving others each day. We love you. Amen. Thank you for joining us today. Remember the one thing, Jesus promises that you have a purpose. That's such a great promise. See you next time. Bye.